The carnivore diet promises life-changing results, and for many, it delivers. But here's the problem. The carnivore diet doesn't work the way that most people think it does. Sure, most people feel great in the beginning, but after about 2 to 3 months of just meat, that high energy that you felt starts to disappear. And then all of a sudden you start crashing, and all of your carnivore superpowers seem to have gone.
And my testosterone, it took a nosedive.
Such bad muscle cramps, heart palpitations, sleep disturbances. My testosterone was kind of going down.
I became very sick after nearly 8 years of following a carnivore diet.
My physical energy, that really started to fade away.
But it doesn't stop there. You may also experience digestive discomfort.
I've got this pain in my diaphragm on the left-hand side, and I think that might be my colon.
Physical weakness.
A lot of people feel really fatigued.
And sleep issues soon after.
My sleep hasn't been that great. I've been a little bit more fatigued during the day. My mind is not as clear. Maybe a little bit more fogginess.
This is the reality that many carnivores face. And that's why in this video I'm going to break down how you can optimize the carnivore diet so you can experience that high energy all the time without any side effects. This means that you'll have all of the energy required to get ahead in your career or your business. Now, if I came across this video a few years ago, I would be thinking that there's no way the carnivore diet could be causing these issues. After all, it's the best diet there is. You see, I was on the carnivore diet myself. I saw a huge boost in energy and well-being in the beginning, but that was shortly followed by digestive problems, weird cravings, and poor sleep. And I'm not alone. Many of my clients have come to me after running into similar struggles. As an energy optimizing health coach with 7 years of experience, I've helped entrepreneurs and high performers worldwide move beyond these problems and achieve elite level health, well-being, and energy. Take Frederick, for example, a dedicated carnivore-based guy who thought he had it all figured out, but for some unknown reason he was experiencing digestive problems and felt like something was missing.
Being on a diet for a long time, I noticed some problems, for example, stomach problems. I had really severe stomach aches from eating just purely that diet. And then when I got introduced to Jonas and I found Jonas, he showed me some techniques and ways to reshape my diet in ways I didn't really think about before. It really improved my gut a ton. I felt more energized with the tips he gave. So I'm really happy to have been working with Jonas. I couldn't recommend it enough.
Frederick thought that his carnivore approach was as good as it can get, but now he's actually thriving. His gut health is perfect, his diet is more enjoyable and balanced, and he understands exactly how to fuel his body for peak performance. As a result, he has used all of that energy to start his own business while building and maintaining his division level tennis skills. So let's break it down. What are the hidden downsides of the carnivore diet? And how can you get even better results without the setbacks? Stick around until the end, because this might change how you view your diet forever. So before we get into the problems, I want to preface with this. There are undeniable benefits to the carnivore diet, but most people don't fully understand where these benefits come from. They often wrongly contribute the benefits of the carnivore diet to the magical compounds found in meat. And yes, obviously meat has many bioavailable nutrients that our modern bodies crave like never before. But the positive benefits of the carnivore diet doesn't really have much to do with the meat itself. It has more to do with the things you're not eating. On the carnivore diet, you're cutting out all of the inflammatory foods that most people eat every single day. This could be a bunch of grains, it could be very large amounts of vegetables which have anti-nutrients, and obviously you're also cutting out processed foods, seed oils, and all the other things that contribute to inflammation and low energy within our body. And at the same time, you're eating a bunch of animal nutrition which fills your body with B vitamins, minerals, amino acids, protein, and so on. This obviously gives you more energy and better well-being overall. So this is what makes the carnivore diet have these amazing benefits on people. It's basically an elimination diet. But let's get into the things that are not so great, especially on long-term carnivore diets. So I'm going to be breaking this down into 4 pillars. And we're going to start with pillar 1. This is gut health and digestive problems. This is a major problem on a long-term carnivore diet. And this is because of something called gut motility. So gut motility essentially means the way that food travels through our stomach and our intestines. And that is supposed to be smooth and it's supposed to be constantly moving. But when you're on a carnivore diet, you're not eating any fiber or any starch or pretty much nothing but meat. This means that you're actually limiting your gut motility a lot. And this is why so many people have gut issues when they are on the carnivore diet long term. The high amount of meat that people eat on the carnivore diet without any starch or soluble fiber means that it sits in their stomach and their small intestines for long periods of time. It essentially starts rotting inside the stomach and small intestines. And this is why so many people on the carnivore diet have very infrequent bathroom trips.
Not gone to the bathroom in about 10 days. Not properly anyway, I've not been able to.
So people on a long-term carnivore diet will see a lot of stagnation within their intestines. And this is what contributes to the host of different digestive problems that people experience. We do need just a small amount of fiber to have that gut motility, to move things around in our intestines without it sitting there and having rotting meat in our small intestines, for example. That's not something you want. So a simple fix for this would obviously be for people on a carnivore diet to just include a small amount of soluble fiber and starches. And all of this ties into the second pillar, which is about meat quality concerns. So the point with this pillar is that I've seen a tendency in carnivore communities to disregard the quality aspect when it comes to buying meat, for example. So I've seen some carnivore advocates actually saying that it doesn't really matter too much about the quality of the meat you're eating, and even telling people to go to McDonald's and just get 18 burger patties if that's all they can find and eat that. I believe that's very, very bad advice if you're on the carnivore diet. You want to be very concerned with the quality of your meat, because if you're not having any soluble fiber or starches to push everything through your stomach, and you eat a bunch of hamburger patties from McDonald's, for example, or some other very low quality piece of meat, you're gonna get a lot of antibiotic compounds, medicational compounds, and other toxins from the food that the animal has eaten, and you're just gonna get so much of that absorbed into your bloodstream because you have no fiber to push it through. So that very low quality piece of meat from the hamburger patties will sit in your small intestines, where it's going to release all of those antibiotic compounds that's within the animal, all of the medications that animal was given, all of the toxins that it's been filled with, heavy metals, glyphosate from its food. So if you are on the carnivore diet, you definitely need to take the quality aspect very seriously, because you're on a very low gut motility diet. So I would definitely never go to McDonald's and just eat a bunch of hamburger patties. I believe that's terrible advice. You could just go to the supermarket, get some prosciutto or some Parma ham that's certified, and you'll get a good quality meat that you can just eat anywhere pretty much. You don't have to go to fast food restaurants to get meat. Just go to the supermarket, it will be just as cheap, maybe even cheaper than all of those hamburger patties, and you'll get a much higher quality food, and you won't even need to eat as much because there'll be more nutrition and energy within that food. The hamburger patties from McDonald's are basically dead. They are filled with medications, antibiotics, all these negative things that you're just gonna absorb in your small intestines. So with that being said, let's move on to the third pillar, and this is performance problems. So when you're on the carnivore diet, you're also sort of on a keto diet. You're not eating any carbohydrates and your body is in ketosis. It is using fat for fuel. It is not using glucose as its main fuel source. And many advocates on the carnivore diet will tell you that carbohydrates are evil and they are behind so many health problems in the modern world. I believe that to be a big misunderstanding. What people have today is not a carbohydrate problem. Actually, carbohydrates and glucose is the most efficient form of energy for our body, and that's why it will always use these first before any other type of fuel. So when you go on the carnivore diet and you just cut out all carbs, you're actually removing one of the biggest performance boosters that we can get into our body, which is optimized carbohydrates. This lack of glucose and glycogen will impact your physical performance, your energy, and especially your cognitive performance long term when you're on the carnivore diet. So if I was on the carnivore diet, I would not cut out carbs. I would actually include things like sweet potatoes, white rice, and other starch options. I would include things like fruit and raw honey, because these are some of the most powerful tools that we can use to increase our energy levels and get all of the cognitive and energy level benefits that we get from those foods. Because the issue when you're on a long-term carnivore-based diet is that you are in constant gluconeogenesis, which means that your body is constantly trying to make its own glucose and it's tapping into its own tissue to do that. And that's very stressful to be in for longer periods of time. And that's why a lot of people will see basically stress compounding within their body on a long-term carnivore diet, and they'll run into all of these different issues such as brain fog, lowered energy, and a very common one is poor sleep. A lot of people on a long-term carnivore or keto diet will experience poor sleep because of a lack of glucose and carbohydrates. And I've personally seen in many clients and people I've worked with, when we include carbohydrates back into their diet, if they've been on the carnivore diet or keto diet, they start sleeping much better, because that carbohydrate basically stops our body from going into constant gluconeogenesis. And this, by the way, goes for people on all diets. If you're having trouble sleeping, it's very likely a glucose issue. So you can include some raw honey or some other carbohydrate source, and this will make you sleep much better. So try it out. This will reduce your adrenaline spikes, and if you are in constant gluconeogenesis on the carnivore diet, you will have way too much adrenaline going every day from that constant stress state. And that's not a helpful thing for overall health, especially in terms of hormones, testosterone, energy levels, cognitive performance, and as we talked about, sleep. And that moves us on to the fourth pillar. And this is the carnivore diet's impact on the gut microbiome. So because the carnivore diet is such a restrictive diet, it has major impacts on our gut microbiome. Our gut microbiome needs specific compounds known as prebiotics to stay healthy and diverse. On a carnivore diet, you're basically starving out your gut microbiome by not feeding it any prebiotics in the form of fruit, for example, or just in general other food options that are not animal products and meat. This can contribute to overall stagnation and die-off in your gut bacteria, which will just give you a host of gut issues and make you not able to tolerate any other food that's not meat, especially if you stay on the diet for longer periods, because all of your probiotics, your beneficial bacteria in your gut, will basically die off and you will have to rebuild those slowly. This is something I've had to work a lot with in my clients who have previously been on a long-term carnivore diet. So you want to introduce a lot of probiotics and build all of that up. And this is something that's largely ignored on the carnivore diet. There is not a whole lot of focus on probiotics and the gut microbiome in general. It's worth noting that obviously you're also healing a bit when you're on the carnivore diet in terms of your gut, because you're cutting out a lot of the gluten, a lot of the vegetables that have anti-nutrients, which basically destroy our gut. But longer term, you'll need to introduce some other foods that act as prebiotics that feed your beneficial gut bacteria to be able to make them produce more and diverse strains that will just make you have zero bloating. It will make you extract more nutrition and energy from the food you're eating. And then at the end, we have the final fifth pillar. And this is actually the complete key to success. This pillar is about personalization. Personalization is everything when it comes to diet and nutrition in general. There is no one size fits all. And in order to truly optimize your energy, your focus, your productivity, and your overall health and well-being, you need a personalized approach that's tailored specifically to you. And that's my specialty. That's what I do. I help people identify exactly what's holding them back, and I create a tailored plan specifically designed around them. I've helped high performers all around the world to uncover hidden opportunities in their diet and lifestyle routines and turning their potential roadblocks into incredible results. So if you're serious about reaching your full potential and avoiding the pitfalls of restrictive diets and generic advice, let's make it happen. Click the link below this video to book your optimization call with me. In this session, we'll get to the root of why you're not performing at your best and what steps we need to take to fix that. By the end of our chat, you will walk away with real clarity and the tools that you need to unlock the success and health you deserve. There are no strings attached, just insights into what's been limiting you and how to overcome it. And if after the call you would be interested in working more with me to optimize your energy and health even further, we can discuss what that might look like. So go ahead and book your call and let's get you moving towards your highest possible potential. See you there.